Today we're going to be going over every single piece of leaked information about the upcoming Zombies mode in Call of Duty 2024 Gulf War. The leaks are really starting to paint a good picture for what we can expect at launch in terms of content, and even though we're probably about a month or two away from some official news from Treyarch about Gulf War, I figured I'd compile everything we know as of late March to start to draw up some hype for the game in the fall. Before we get into the leaks, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on the road to 100k and rapidly approaching our goal. With that all out of the way, let's jump into it. So the majority of the known leaked information comes from a few credible leakers over on Twitter or X, depending upon what you'd like to call it. A link to all their profiles will be in the description below, but a quick shout out to Forward Leaks, Undead Vondi, Alex, Margwa News Network, and Alan III. They're all the sources that I use to compile all of the information in this video, so again, links to their profiles in the description below. Starting us off, we have something nobody should be surprised about, and that's the return of round-based zombies. While MWZ was a nice surprise, the majority of Zombies fans would definitely rather prefer round-based zombies, and we'll be getting our fair share of it over the next 2 years, as round-based support will continue into Call of Duty 2025. But at the launch of Gulf War Zombies, you can expect to see 2 round-based maps. This is extremely good news because I got really sick of D-Machine about a month and a half in, simply because there was nothing else to switch to. Kino had 5, Tranzit had Town and Nuketown, Shadows of Evil had the Giant. Black Ops 4 might have been just a little bit too ambitious for its own good, but my point is, every good Zombies game needs at least 2 maps at launch to succeed, and Treyarch looks like they're delivering. So the first of the 2 maps will likely be the main map that drives the storyline forward and innovates the most out of the 2, and will be set on Terminus Island off the coast of the Philippines. This is likely the island that Dr. Peck points to at the end of Forsaken, and I wouldn't be surprised if that cutscene is actually a part of the opening for the Terminus Island map. Now the island is going to be giving off some real Zetsubo Noshima vibes in terms of its atmosphere. Kevin Drew, who's the new lead director of Zombies, worked heavily on Zetsubo back in the day, and he's drawing a lot of inspiration from this map. There's set to be an underground section of the map featuring a laboratory and prison, while the actual island itself will feature a boat with a cannon trap that you can actually get on and gun, as well as an arrow trap located somewhere around the island. There isn't much known about the bosses yet, however there is confirmation that we'll see a new Apothicon dog variant with tentacles. I don't think it's actually an Apothicon dog, but that's just kind of how I want to paint the picture. Just imagine a dog with tentacles. Now as far as the wonder weapons go on the map, we can safely assume the ray gun will be back for sure. It's been found in the codes. I don't think there's any question that the ray gun was ever going to come back. However, there are 2 other wonder weapons that have been found for the Terminus Island map. The Wunderwaffe DG2 is slated to return, as there's reference to it in the code, as well as a 3rd wonder weapon that will supposedly cause several enemy skins to bubble up and explode, very similarly to the KT4/Masamune from Zetsubo Noshima. We're unaware if this is going to be an exact replica of the KT4 or if it's some sort of reworked wonder weapon like how the Ray K from Firebase Z was a hybrid of the Ray Gun Mark III from Gorard Krovi, but nonetheless, all the information is really starting to create a nice picture of what the main staple map in this game at launch is going to look like. Moving on, the second launch map will likely be your more survival-esque map, and this is going to be set in a town in West Virginia. The town will feature a bank, church, and police tape and include vertical gameplay elements. To me, this sounds exactly like a town/Mauer der Toten hybrid. Now, what's crazy is that the wonder weapon for this map is supposedly the jet gun from Tranzit, and it was found inside of the code for the game and will have an unlockable quest to go along with it. Other than that, not too much is known about this map, but like I said, if I had to guess, this is going to be a much smaller map in comparison to the Terminus Island map, and will likely be your camo, weapon, and level grinding map. Moving on to the core mechanics of the game, we'll see much of what was added into Cold War make its return with the launch of Gulf War Zombies. There are 5, possibly 6 core features that you can expect to see inside of Gulf War, starting with the most obvious one, and that's Pack-a-Punch and alternate ammo types. This is a no-brainer. Obviously, Pack-a-Punch was always going to be added back in. However, it will function differently from Cold War Zombies, as players will be able to put the weapon inside of the machine for upgrade, and the knuckle crack animation is set to return while you're waiting for the weapon to be spit back out. I'm really excited about them reverting back to the original Pack-a-Punch system, because with Cold War Zombies, I just felt like it was extremely annoying having to pull up the menu to select a level of Pack-a-Punch every single time you wanted to upgrade. I hope Treyarch favors the animation effect for other resource stations as well, because it's really a pain in the ass on high rounds to have to stop and select your armor or whatever else you might be using, and it can lead to a lot of unnecessary downs. With the return of the Pack-a-Punch animation, I'm not sure if the alternate ammo types are going to be based on RNG like how they were in Black Ops 3 and 4, or if there'll be a way to specifically choose which ones you want on your gun like in Cold War. Next up, we have Wunderfizz coming back. Again, not a huge shock that it's returning, but what is unknown is if there's going to be an animation that gives you a random perk cola, or if it's going to be specifically a tab-in screen where you can select what perk you want. I'm more in favor of them returning to the RNG style of Wunderfizz that we saw in Black Ops 2 and 3, as being able to pick your perks really devalues the other perk machine locations around the map. There was just no point in going into the bunker on D-Machine to get speed cola or deadshot when you could just grab them from the top of Noct. I also really hope that they decide to cap the perk limit this time around at like 4 or 5 perks again, and add in some sort of way to get extra perk slots. I just feel like it was really too easy being able to get all of your perks at once after you've downed, despite them costing an arm and a leg to get them all back. The cost of perks really doesn't affect you on higher rounds too, because like by the time you reach the 60s, you usually have enough points to down and get your perks back 2 or 3 times over. The third core feature coming back is the Arsenal Armor Station, where you'll be able to craft and upgrade your armor. I wish we could have zombie shields back, but I'm honestly okay with them having the armor stations as long as there's no menu to select what level you want. They should just have it where you spend your salvage and receive a boost in armor upon interacting with the station immediately, so you can just pick it up and move on. Our fourth mechanic that will be returning is weapon rarity, and this is actually now separate from the armor station. It's going to be a new feature called the Tool Grinder, and it'll be exclusively where you can upgrade your weapon rarity. I think this is a perfect addition to counteract the selection menus in Cold War. I believe that you'll simply be able to just walk up to the tool grinder and interact with it, immediately upgrading your weapon rarity, just like the new armor system. Again, if they could completely do away with any or all of the selection menus, I think it would really benefit the game, and most Zombies fans I know are all in for these changes. The fifth core mechanic that's been confirmed to be coming back is the crafting table. I'm not a huge fan of the crafting table for a few reasons, one being the selection menu, but more importantly, I think it really diminishes the potential for side quests on each map. In the past, specialist grenades or extra lives were usually acquired through completing map-specific side quests or through the box. I think that the crafting table kind of dilutes the atmosphere and replayability of most of the Cold War maps. Not to mention the score streaks are insanely OP, but your ability to buy unlimited lives if you have enough salvage really makes the game just too easy in my opinion. I don't think the crafting table will make or break the game, I just think it's something that doesn't really need to be in it. The last core feature that's been rumored to return for months now is Gobblegums and the Gobblegum machine. Leakers have found a string of codes referring to a bubblegum machine animation where you pop and chew the gum itself. I suppose this could be leftover code, but I'm really not sure why it would be leftover considering we're 8 years removed from Black Ops 3. Also, Kevin Drew tweeted out last year he's here to chew gobblegum and kick ass, and he's all out of gobblegum, and I know this is a reference to a movie line, but it seems like just kind of an odd thing to randomly tweet out, and then months later people start finding strings of code referencing gobblegums. As far as we know, the Gobblegum system will be grindable at least at the launch of the game, and it is possible that Liquid Divinium could return as other items from the Aether storyline have been spilling out of the Dark Aether, like the 115 Meteors from the Season 2 Reloaded update for MWZ, or basic stuff like the Ray Gun, Wonderwaff, or Perca-Colas. All of those things should not exist without the use of Element 115, just like Gobblegums, but what I do think is more likely is that we'll see some sort of a revamped Aetherium crystal system from Cold War. In Cold War, you can unlock Perca-Cola upgrades, weapon upgrades, field upgrade effects, and more with the use of Aetherium crystals that you got from surviving to high rounds or high waves in Outbreak. If they opt for a revamped Aetherium crystal system, I would guess that raw Aetherium would give you 1 spin in the factory, refined Aetherium would give you 2 gums, and flawless would give you 3 spins. If they choose not to bring the RNG back in and go for a cookbook style, then gums would probably just be priced at a preset Aetherium crystal amount. For example, 1 licensed contractor would cost you a single raw Aetherium crystal, whereas a Perkaholic would probably cost you like 3 flawless crystals. I think that'd be a fair way to balance out the pay-to-win aspect of the gums and also add replayability. Cold War for me became really boring after I maxed out all of the upgrades and stopped earning crystals. Black Ops 3 is still selling copies today even on console, and a major factor in that is because the Liquid Divinium system gives you a reason to play the maps should you get bored of just surviving or doing the Easter eggs. I know the community is pretty split on Gobblegums, but let me know in the comments below what your take on gums are and if you'd like to see them back. The last gameplay leak I'd like to touch on is the return of Widow's Wine. Now there isn't something that's been directly found in the code as of yet for 2024, however back when Modern Warfare 3 launched, Walmart was selling collector's boxes for the game that came with memorabilia and posters, and on the actual box itself there's a rebranded logo for Widow's Wine. Everyone originally thought this was going to be the final perk added into the Wunderfizz machine for MWZ, but as we know there are no more perks coming to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, which makes me wonder if they scrapped it and are holding on to the assets for the next game. Again, this one's really up in the air, but it's something I wanted to touch on just because we literally have an officially licensed Call of Duty product that has Widow's Wine on it. Like I'm literally staring at it right now, I have it behind me, there's the logo of Widow's Wine on an officially licensed collector's edition of this box. Like I just don't understand why they would put that there and then completely scrap it altogether just to never be seen again. Obviously it's gotten pretty far into development if it's made its way into the collector's box, so I don't know. We'll just have to see whether this one comes back or not. That's pretty much all of the gameplay leaks that are currently known. However, there is one final thing I'd like to touch on in this video. According to Windows Central, Activision is discussing the possibility of a pre-order bonus for Black Ops Golf 4 that would grant players days or even weeks early access to the Zombies mode. This is nuts because we've never seen early access to anything related to zombies in the entire history of the Call of Duty franchise. This is coming off the heels of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies' success, which means Activision must feel confident in zombies again if they want to do something like this. It seems like from Black Ops 4 to Vanguard, Activision had lost all hope in zombies returning to its peak form. However, I don't think Activision would greenlight early access to zombies as a pre-order bonus unless they truly feel confident in the product, especially making it a headliner for the franchise again. Anyways guys, that's pretty much it on the leaks for now. As more comes out about the game, I'll be making sure to update you guys as soon as as we have word. I think we're still about a month and a half away from any official Call of Duty trailers or images about Gulf War in general, and probably further away from any official zombies news, but I wanted to make this video to drum up some early hype for the game just because I really believe in this title. My gut feeling is that this game is going to be a Treyarch masterclass. They've had 4 years to develop this title, and it's the longest development time any Call of Duty has ever had. I know the community is really down on zombies right now, but I really do believe in this game and it's going to return the mode to greatness. If you guys could drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, I'd greatly appreciate it. And have a good day. Stay safe.